And the next verse is saying that giving up concern about these lives. And maybe it is a little bit talking about the impermanent. And also it's when we be in the solitude place. And it's very important our minds to make free from concerning about in this life. And in this life, it's what is the important? Of course, to have enough food. I mean, it's like just enough food and clothes and simple shelters and nothing kind of problem, but it's just enough. Generally, we are concerning our life. I want to become the billionaires. I want to become to high positions. I want to become very famous. I have like kind of beautiful, important families, and thinking about like kind of life, business, life things. Maybe we can close to say honestly, and thinking about house, thinking about monies, thinking about arrange of the families, and thinking about connecting, all these sort of these things. And we are constantly, even we are bodies in the solitude place, but we constantly like this, then in the solitude place is not solitude place. It doesn't make different when we in the native land or the solitude place. And therefore, when we make in the retreat, or it's like be in the solitude place, it's very important to give up concerning in this life. And also, it is when we practice the Dharma, or study the Dharma, reflect on Dharma, and it's during these periods to say, okay, I'm going to meditate one day. Maybe I'm going to listen Dharma one day. Maybe I'm going to reflect on one day Dharma. This during the 1 days, I'm really dedicated for the Dharma activities. I don't want to concern any other my life. That is very important. And here this verse says, close friend who have long kept company will part. Wealth and possessions gained with effort will be left behind. Consciousness, the guest, will leave the body's hotel. To give up concern about this life is a Bodhisattva practice. Bodhisattva practice. Here we talking about the concerning in this life, and talking about close friend who have long kept companies. And if we come to say it's like, I want to be all the times together. We cannot to separate and say, of course, but until we as like to be together, until we die, then what we are doing. And there is another great yogi in Tibet called the Jetmalaripa. And when he was born and a child, and his fathers died, and he went to in the university or like a school. He come back, his mother's died, and sister is wandered into the city. And then he is concerning about the impermanent of the life. And he's saying that when father is there, son is not there. Son is grow up, father is died. But we be together all my life. What can we do? All the times, meaningless things. But now I have in my mind is Dharma. I will do the meaningful life, benefit for my father and myself. And when the son is mother is here, son went abroad. Son is come back to the mother's place, mother is already died. But if we together, mother and son together, what we need to do? All the time gossip, all the time doing the useless things. Now Dharma is in my heart, I will do some meaningful life, benefit for mother and myself. And like this, for example, close friends, and we keep the long times company. What we do? But anyway, one day we will separate, 100%. When this two separations, then we come to look, we have more desire attachment, we didn't done nothing. And there is one history, love's history of the bears, honey bears. And there's one couple. And one day the wife is become sick and going to die. And husband is running around to fly, to ask different says, can you save my wife? Can you save mine? And come back, he asked to how are you? And he says, my sickness is impossible to cure. Maybe it's worse and worse. But he says of course, I'm very much sad of the separation, but maybe it doesn't matter. Anyway, we need to separate, but you are left. You should to practice Dharma to do benefit for both of us. Then I'm not worried. You should to practice Dharma. And then is the husband fly say, yes, definitely. If you to survived, then we need to practice Dharma, sure. But if you something happened, I promise it to you, I will practice to Dharma, benefit for both of us. It is like this, it's like sometimes in Tibet, the families to help each other. Some intelligent children, some intelligent, even sometimes the couples each other help to say, okay, we are wireless living together. Sometime maybe we will together too. But all the times to be together, what is the benefit? Maybe you are more intelligent, you are more stable. Go to study Dharma, go to maybe listen Dharma, reflect Dharma. To practice Dharma to maybe benefit for both hours. Maybe I can to take care of house, taking care of food, taking care of children. And sometimes alternately. Sometimes husband, sometimes wife, they are very good couple, they do like this. Because one day, anyway, we need to separations. And to be all the times too close and fighting, argue, come like kind of conflict is which kind of benefits. And also here it says when you really to practice Dharma, there's many kind of, for example, in my village, there's one great master and very famous masters. His name is Durjis. And he's only of course his mother has only one son. And then is one day, and he needs to go to visit the Jimelimba. And Jimelimba living in the center Tibet. From come in my areas, go to there by feet, at least 6 months by feet. Come back 6 months, even the traveling between, there's 1 year. And then there's between this and the path, there's such and such hindrance, like a kind of obstacles. We don't know during, and then this boy is going to visit Jimelimba, not to just to visit. He need to stay there maybe at least 4 years or 7 years to study Dharma. And then it's like one day he come back to the home. He asked to Mom, I need to go to in the central Tibet, visit the Jimelimba. Mother said this, I have only one son. And if you go, what can I do? I'm lonely, and what can I do? And I miss you. Maybe I will become crazy. And then he says, Mom, you should take care, you should think. If I'm stay all the times with you, which kind of benefit. And okay, I can to make some more business. It doesn't much benefit for both us. And therefore I choose to go. If we meet again and fantastic, good, we can pray. You pray, I will pray. If not, I will 100% accomplish Dharma and we will meet in the next life. He said like this, something, and then he left. And then the mother think, that is truth. She accepted. And then later, maybe 7, 8 years, and he come back. He met, of course, mother's not yet died. They met. And then he says, how's the benefit? Then after his great master, he helped 1,000 students. And which kind of benefit? Like this, too much close friend have desire attachment, keeping holding clingingly is not very good. To do Dharma things, very important. And they are like impermanent. It's one day, doesn't matter you love or not love, you want to keep or not, there's no possible. We need to separate. And to practice some while, to be like a little bit separate, it doesn't matter. For example, when we need to practice Dharma, to study Dharma, maybe 3 years, 8 years, and 12 years, not much. And after you come back, your families become great Bodhisattva, enlightened ones. That your families have done such and such good things. And therefore to concern to our families, companions, and impermanent, and do not say too much to cling to them, because too much clinging, we cannot to give up in this life. And also wealth and positions gained with the effort will be the left behind it. Of course, our wealth and our positions gained through our activities, to making the such and this and that effort, put lot effort under the heart. Actually, we collected our wealth and the positions, and also impermanent. You know, it is like says, oh, I cannot to practice Dharma because I need to look after my wealth and positions, house, cars, monies, and this kind of. I cannot to practice Dharma because I need to look after. And certainly we got some sickness. Maybe it's uncurable things. And then it's like doctor and hospital say, sorry, you are going to die. And we are like death possessed, who is looking after our wealth and positions. And that moment everything will be leave behind. We need to go alone. We cannot take any at all 1 cent of the money. And nothing cannot look any our positions, wealth, they taken by other human beings. At that moment we have such stinginess, such kind of uncomfortable, such a kind of like, sense of the losing, but what can we do? And in this case, in the early to a little bit to say, okay, I have enough and a little bit to divide it to the families, and there's nothing desire attachment in order to accomplish the Dharma. And that means it's like giving up concerning this life of the wealth and positions, and it's like whatever in the worldly things, because they are impermanent. One day I need to leave behind, and why I need to concern my Dharma quickly to reach enlightenment. Also consciousness, the guest will leave the body hotels. Of course, consciousness, our like kind of wandered into the samsaras. We found many different houses, the house of the body. And this time we got the special hotel of the house. It's a human hotel, human bodies. This consciousness found that it's a human hotel, the human body, but this is also not forever. How long we can to stay in these hotels, we don't know. One day we need to leave, we need to check out. And maybe body is telling to our consciousness, it's a time to the check out. It is now. So that moment, mind is to consciousness says, no, don't say me. How much I taking care of you. How much like kind of give nice food, nice drink, expensive clothes, everything. How much I taking care of you. Now you give up, you kick out of me. Body said it doesn't matter, it's time, please go out. And that time is what can we do? And now we have priorities. And to use this body, how we can to use this body? Of course this body need food, this body need clothes. Just enough, just kind of not become cold, not become hungry or thirsty. And then other part is like kind of to spend to the practice Dharma. Maybe one according to this body hotels, maybe we can to achieve something great things. Then we can to appreciate of these hotels. And we can to say, thank you my body, thank you this hotel. Once since I got this hotel, I have great opportunities. I did a lot of good things. And then it's now I need to check out, but doesn't matter. And next time is we can to get again maybe better than this hotel. And therefore we need to give a concern about this life is the Bodhisattva's practice.